Hello and welcome back to another Chelsea transfer news video. Today it looks like Tomori is on the brink of leaving to AC Milan. There is once again another young player that no one's ever heard of that Chelsea are interested in. Also once again, there's another European giant interested in Olivier Giroud. And lastly, we're looking towards the injury list and injury update for the Fulham game that is going on tomorrow. I'm not going to be making a match preview, but I'll just inform you of the injury list, the suspensions for tomorrow's game. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, starting off, Tomori is I don't know what's happened. It's a mystery. He performed well last season, but he's had 7 appearances. Wait, let me see this. Literally 7 appearances in 2020, despite his great start to the season in the 2019 to 2020 campaign. And due to his lack of starts, it looks like he's going to be leaving on loan this January, and AC Milan, the Italy Serie A leaders, the current leaders in front of Juventus at the moment, are looking like they are going to be signing for Tomori on loan. The deal could be wrapped up in a few coming days, and negotiations are now in advanced talks between AC Milan and Chelsea. AC Milan are going to be getting him on loan. They'd like 18 months. I'm not sure if that's the deal, but after the loan is done, they have an option to buy. It's not an obligation, so they don't have to. If they don't think that he's performed very well for them, they don't have to pay the amount at the end, and he can just go back to Chelsea, and that price is £30 million. Like I said, I'm not sure if it is 18 months or not, because AC Milan did want the deal to be 18-month loan. 18 months, I think Tomori is going to be, hopefully, worth more than £30 million, so hopefully it's not a grave mistake from Chelsea. Losing Tomori permanently, especially if at the end of the loan they decide to sign him permanently, that could be quite a big blow, as he's been at the Chelsea Academy for a while. He's got some great mates, or he's good mates with some of the players at Stamford Bridge, and I think he could really help the Chelsea backline in the future. Either way, the move looks increasingly likely to happen, and I will be updating you when the deal happens and when it's about to happen, so keep your eye out. Lampard has said that Tomori is his long-term future plans, but after the last 12 months and only accumulating 7 appearances, he might just be lying to the media, and it could be a permanent goodbye for the 23-year-old. The monster, the South Korean monster, Kim Min-jae, is looking like he's going to be signing for Tottenham Hotspur this January. However, Chelsea are interested and could potentially hijack their deal, just like we did with Willian a few years back. When I say monster, this guy really is a monster. He's South Korean, he's 6'3", he plays for Beijing Guan, and is a rising star in Asia. Spurs were weighing up a bid last January or last summer, but they look like they're going to be putting in a bid in a few coming days. But if Chelsea could hijack this deal, then it could be brilliant, as he literally is what we need. He's basically Kurt Zouma. He's pretty much Kurt Zouma. However, he is 24, so he's not as young as some of the other players, but could be a good replacement for Tomori, as he's a similar age. However, the reason that I don't think he will be joining Chelsea is because he plays for South Korea alongside Heung-min Son, who looks like he's going to be signing a contract or another contract with Tottenham Hotspur in the coming days. So they're probably quite good mates, and I would be surprised if he turned down his fellow international player. Min-jae's contract ends in December 2021, and Beijing are interested in selling him now rather than waiting for his contract to run out. I don't think he'll cost much, but the sale of Min-jae could be a big blow to the current or the new manager of Beijing Guan, who is Slaven Bilic, after recently getting sacked by West Brom. He's gone and joined or started to take over Beijing Guan, which is interesting. I didn't know that he moved to China. I'd love to see the monster at the club. It'd be great to have two monsters in Kurt Zouma and Min-jae, but like I said, I think he'd probably be more interested in Tottenham Hotspur due to his mate Heung-min Son looking likely to sign a brand new contract with the Lily-Whites. Olivier Giroud is still a top tier striker, and despite the age of 34, he's still scoring. He scored 4 against Sevilla. Pretty much, if you start him, he's going to score. And after Real Madrid signed Luka Jovic for £60 million, he's been a massive flop. He's been rubbish for them. So they've loaned him back to Frankfurt, which is a good deal, I think, especially for Frankfurt. They gained £60 million and got their player back at the end of it for free. And according to Spanish outlet AS, Real Madrid are eyeing up Olivier Giroud, Sergio Aguero, or Napoli's Milik as a replacement for Jovic. Their first choice striker is Benzema, and I think he's going to stay like that. He had a great year in 2020. He's really kind of stepped out the shadow. He was always in Cristiano Ronaldo's shadow. As soon as Cristiano Ronaldo leaves, Benzema's really stepped up, and he's a great player. He really fits their front three together. Hazard really hasn't, or his injuries have held him back. He hasn't been able to prove what he can do yet. But the likes of Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo on either wing, it just works really well with Benzema sitting in the middle of the pacey wingers. Once again, I do not see Olivier Giroud leaving Chelsea for a team of the likes of Real Madrid. I've also reported on Atletico Madrid being interested in him, and also Juventus. They're massive teams in the world. Some of the European giants all looking to win the Champions League this season. So Chelsea though. And I think he's going to get more game time at Chelsea than the likes of Juventus or Real Madrid. However, Chelsea are set to battle it out with Real Madrid for Erling Haaland's signature, as despite Benzema having a great season last year, he is 33, and Erling Haaland could be Real Madrid's fix. If Real Madrid sign Erling Haaland, they won't be interested in Olivier Giroud, but if Chelsea end up signing Erling Haaland, Real Madrid will definitely want Olivier Giroud. However, I do think it is a bit more likely that Erling Haaland would join Real Madrid rather than Chelsea. Not that I'm saying I don't want him, it's just probably not as likely. Okay, so Fulham were meant to play Chelsea today on Friday the 15th, but after Spurs and Aston Villa's game was called off due to a COVID outbreak in the Aston Villa squad, the Premier League rescheduled Spurs and Fulham's game to Wednesday, in which they drew 1-1. Ruben Loftus-Cheek had a great game, but anyway, we're not talking about Spurs and Fulham today. We're talking about Chelsea and Fulham. Chelsea and Fulham were meant to play today, but because of the Fulham game on Wednesday, they had to reschedule it to Saturday, so it's only a 1 day delay. Chelsea, it could be a blessing in disguise really, because it could allow Reece James to get up to full fitness. I think if the game was being played today, he probably wouldn't be starting, maybe come off the bench with 30 minutes left if we were in need of a goal or just hanging on to a 1-0 lead, as he entered training or re-entered training on Thursday after a mix of hamstring and knee injuries. Chelsea have really looked lacklustre without Reece James down the right hand side. Azpilicueta is a great right back and he's been at Chelsea. His blood is literally blue. He's so true to the badge, but he's not as good as Reece James going forwards. He's probably better defending and one-on-ones, but with the fullbacks, with Chelsea's fullbacks, Ben Chilwell and Reece James, they're great avenues to go down, cross the ball in and try and get ahead to it in the middle. The deliveries are pinpoint perfect, and without Reece James and Ben Chilwell, we'd probably be losing even more games than we have. The 21-year-old has not featured since Chelsea's defeat against Arsenal, where he played the full 90 minutes despite looking like a major concern before the game, and no one expected him to play. No one expected Chilwell to play, but Frank Lampard ended up playing both of them. So Reece James coming back could be brilliant for Chelsea. Kai Havertz is also in training, Christian Pulisic is in training, Hakim Ziyech is also in training. N'Golo Kante had a slight injury worry in the last game, not Morecambe, the game before that, Man City, after he came off with I think it was a hamstring pull, but he's back in training. However, he has accumulated too many yellow cards meaning that he has to sit this game out anyway. The likes of Billy Gilmore or Jorginho could play in the same number 6 role that Kante does, and I do believe it would be Billy Gilmore. I prefer Billy Gilmore to Jorginho just because he's a bit more agile, he provides a little bit extra protection, and I don't have a heart attack whenever he gets the ball. Okay, that is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the daily Chelsea transfer news updates. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.